MBA Show, your place to feel better about your business with practical insights and strategies to help you build the business you want with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. If you're just joining the $100 MBA today for the first time, thank you so much for subscribing to the show. Every single day, we deliver a new business lesson 7 days a week. So we're always here for you. That's our mission. And in today's lesson, you will learn 5 signs you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. Now, this may seem counterintuitive. This is a business podcast. Why would you tell people not to be an entrepreneur? Well, I'm not telling you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. I would love for you to be an entrepreneur because I think it's a great lifestyle. And I think entrepreneurs add a lot of value to the world. But if I'm going to be completely honest with you, and that's what I try to do every single day on the show, not everybody can do it. Not everybody has what it takes. And it's not about talent. It's about your willingness to do certain things or your willingness to change. And if you don't want to change certain aspects of yourself, that's fine. But it means you're going to have a really tough time being an entrepreneur. And in today's lesson, I'm going to give you 5 signs, 5 traits of people that don't make great entrepreneurs. And often they get into business and they waste a lot of time and money. So if you hear these 5 and you don't have any of these 5, or you have them and you're willing to change them, then you're good to go. But if you do one or more than one, you should consider maybe I should take a different path. Again, if everybody could do it, then everybody would have done it. So let's find out what those 5 signs are. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Braintree. Looking to set up payments for your business? Braintree gives your app or your website a payment solution that accepts just about every payment method with one simple integration. Pretty cool, huh? Plus, it'll give you your first $50,000 in transactions completely fee-free. To learn more, visit BraintreePayments.com/MBA. That's BraintreePayments.com/MBA. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to jump right into it. The first sign you shouldn't be an entrepreneur is you hate change. If you're the kind of person that likes to do the same exact thing every single day as long as possible, then entrepreneurship is going to be really difficult for you. Business is always changing. Trends are always changing. What people need and want and technology is always changing. You have to always change as an entrepreneur. You have to evolve. You have to get better. So change is part and parcel of being an entrepreneur. My day looks very different than it did 2 years ago. The things I work on, the things I create are different. What I'm going to work on next month is different from what I'm working on this month because I'm always trying to invent, to add, to improve. And you got to keep on doing that in business because you got to stay competitive. There are things that you're going to always do, staples like creating content. For me, creating podcast episodes. This is a big part of what I do. But there are other things that I do completely differently from one month to another. I change up our webinars. I change up the way I write our emails because I'm always testing. I'm trying new things. And great entrepreneurs do this. I'm learning this as I grow. So if you hate change, it's something that you don't like, you like having a routine and sticking to it and not doing anything different, or change scares you or change really bothers you in a deep way, then you're going to have some struggles being an entrepreneur again. But if you're willing to change that, if you're willing to actually change your hatred for change, then you're going to have a chance. You'll have a fighting chance because great entrepreneurs are always evolving, always changing. All right, number 2, the second sign you shouldn't be an entrepreneur is you're short-sighted. You see only the immediate goal. Great business people, people that really become successful, see the long term. They see the effect of their decisions and their actions way beyond the immediate, way beyond today or tomorrow or next week or next month even. They look down the line 3 months, 6 months, a year. They have the patience to see how things work out. If you're looking for a quick win, it's very, very hard to be very successful very quickly. There are no overnight successes. We only hear about the success overnight, but it's years in the making. So don't be short-sighted. It's a trait of a lot of failed entrepreneurs or people that try to be entrepreneurs. Always have a long-term view. Always ask yourself, what does my business look like next month or 3 months from now or next year or in 5 years? How does it evolve? How does it change? How large is my email list? What am I doing? How am I selling? What am I selling? How are you going to make your mark on this world? That's how you create big change in business when you have a long-term view. So number 1, you hate change. Number 2, you're short-sighted. The third sign you shouldn't be an entrepreneur is you are too sensitive and you like it that way. Now, this one might get me in trouble, but I, again, have to be honest with you. You can't be too sensitive and say to yourself, hey, that's who I am. I don't want to change. You are a sensitive person. If when somebody gives you criticism or feedback, and sometimes when that feedback is delivered in a less than pleasant way, you really just start to clam up, or you start to really just go back to your cave and you don't want to do anything anymore, or you don't want to hear it. If that's one of your traits and you're not willing to work on it, then you're going to have a really hard time, because as soon as you start having traction in your business and having some level of success, you're going to get some haters. You're going to get people that are going to give you feedback that makes no sense. It's hateful, and you just don't get it. And if you're too sensitive to handle it, it may cost you your business. But let's put haters aside. You're going to get genuine feedback from people that actually care about your business, or want to see your business do well, or want to use your product and give you feedback that's a little less than polished. And you might feel like, hey, this is my baby. I worked so hard to build it. I can't believe somebody's saying something about this. And you just stop working on it, or you just don't listen to the feedback. You can't take it personal. You can't be sensitive about it, because you might be losing out on some really great gems that can help you build your business. Plus, at the end of the day, you're building a business for an audience, for them. It's not for you. You're not the customer. So don't take it personal like you are the reason why this is bad. No, a business is ever evolving. The products are ever evolving, and the feedback is what shapes it. It helps you build the perfect product. So if you're too sensitive, please be willing to work on it, because I want to see you win as an entrepreneur. The fourth trait or sign you shouldn't be an entrepreneur is you always need external motivators. When people ask me the question, how do I motivate myself to do what I need to do in my business? The answer I really want to give them, but I often don't, and to be honest, is you're asking the wrong question. That's not a question you should be asking. Successful entrepreneurs don't need anything external to motivate them. Their drive, their hunger, their personal wantingness and will to be successful is their motivator. You have to find that inside of you. And yes, we're going to have down days. And yes, some days are going to be harder than others. And you may need to crank up the music, or you need to, give yourself a pep talk, or talk to somebody that cares about you, a mentor. But it shouldn't be a constant thing. This should be a once in a while thing. If you always need external motivators, then you're not cut out to build something from scratch. People that create things out of thin air find that drive within. Whether it's a piece of art, a sculpture, a painting, or a program or product. The one single trait I saw that's common in every successful entrepreneur I spoke to is that they're hungry, is that they want it bad. You got to have that inside you. You got to find that inside you. We all have it. We just have to find what motivates us. So please find that so you can be successful. Because if you constantly need to be pushed, if you constantly need to be reminded about what you're trying to do, if your day is all in disarray because you don't know what to work on because you just feel down, maybe you have the wrong business on your hands. Maybe you need to find something else that gets you pumped. The journey and the goal should be your motivator. Guys, I got more on today's topic. The 5 signs you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. The 5th sign I want to share with you. So important. But before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, HostGator. If you're looking to build a website, we recommend you use HostGator. We use them for all our websites because they're awesome. Their service is amazing. They have 24/7 live support via phone, chat, and email. I usually just hop on the chat and they answer my questions really quick. And when it comes to your website, you got to go to the pros, and they can help you out with your domain services, your SSL certificates, your design services, your marketing services. They got you covered. And best of all, they do it all without breaking the bank. They're giving every listener of the $100 MBA show a 25% discount on web hosting. Just use promo code OMARHookup at HostGator.com. Again, that's HostGator.com. Use promo code OMARHookup. All right, the 5th and final sign you shouldn't be an entrepreneur is you're selfish. And let me explain what I mean by selfish. If every time a certain situation comes about, you ask yourself the question, what's in it for me? That's what I mean by selfish. Successful entrepreneurs are always willing to give before they receive. They're generous with their time, they're generous with their money, they're generous with their audience to make sure they're fully educated, that they have everything they need to be successful. But if they want to take it to the next level, they can buy their product or service. You're always giving with no real tangible expectation in return. Great entrepreneurs are givers. You can't always evaluate the ROI on every single decision. And I'm not saying you should say yes to every single opportunity, but when it comes to your customers, when it comes to your audience, you gotta give. You gotta make sure they feel like they're getting a lot of value from you. Some people are so covetous of their information, they don't want to give it away. They're like, no, this is good stuff. I want to charge money for it. But you got to build trust. You got to be able to build an audience. Be generous with what you have. There's an abundance of it. And understand that miserliness, being a miser with your time, your energy, your information, is very, very apparent. And it reeks. People can't stand it. And it's very unattractive. People will not resonate with it. So be selfless. Be giving. Be charitable with your information, with your time, with your audience, and you'll find success. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I love teaching it. If you did, let us know in an iTunes rating and review. Every week, we do a weekly random draw on Friday. We call it Free Ride Friday, and we give a lifetime membership to the $100 MBA. It's our way to say thank you for leaving us an iTunes rating and review. Here's a great review from Grace Sonnet. Worthwhile investment, excellent value, 5 stars. I'm an attorney with my own firm. Omar provides pragmatic, result-driven advice that not only helps me as a small business owner, but also allows me to pay it forward for the benefit of my clients. Thanks for the podcast of consistent quality. Thank you so much for that awesome review. It means so much to us. We read every single review, Nicole and I. Again, guys, it takes 2 minutes and it means so much to us and it helps us improve the show. If you're on your iPhone, just click on the cover art. You'll see a link that says give us a rating and review. Or you can go to 100mba.net/show and see all the instructions right there. All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. I shared today's lesson with you not to discourage you, but for you to recognize if you have these qualities, these signs, to rectify them, to get yourself in order so you are successful. I'll be completely honest. If you're successful, I'm successful because I helped you out. And that's my business model, right? If you are successful with business, it means that I've helped you out and that the $100 MBA is doing something great. So I want to see you win, but I have to be honest with you. I have to show you what you're up against and what you should look out for if you have certain traits. We can all change. We can all improve. And that's our job as people in this world and as entrepreneurs. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. I'll see you then. Take care.